Today's test is less of a head-to-head and more of a boot-to-boot, as we try to get to the bottom of how much extra space this Skoda Superb estate offers over the equivalent hatchback. It costs about £1,200 to upgrade from hatch to estate, so is it worth it? On paper, the hatch's 620 litres of space places it 40 litres shy of the estate. How does that extra space look? Well, I'm in the hatch and I've managed to fit in 8 pieces of track for this racing game. If only I'd remembered the batteries. At this point, I was supposed to be able to lay out more track in the estate, but I couldn't. Also, slightly disappointing to note that when you fold the back seats, you don't get a completely flat floor. Of course, where the estate does have an advantage is in its squared off rear, which gives you the option of carrying bulkier items, like a fridge or a wardrobe or a mountain bike with 750mm wide handlebars. Having said that though, it's not as squared off as you might expect, but it does the job. Once you get into the back, the hatch and the estate are identical, so loads of headroom. You've got room for 3 across the middle, and despite the big old lump in the floor here, it doesn't matter because, as you can see, there is so much legroom in a Superb. It's no exaggeration to say that it's more spacious than a Rolls-Royce. Speaking of Rolls-Royce, just like the Phantom, the Superb gets an umbrella hidden in the door, while other neat touches include an ice scraper in the fuel filler cap and a torch in the boot. The Superb scores really well here in the front too. The seats are really comfortable with lots of adjustment, the materials feel solidly put together, and the touchscreen system is logically laid out with full connectivity for Android and Apple phones. Overall, it feels a lot like a Volkswagen Passat, which is to say solid, sensible and classy, if not terribly exciting. It seems that Skoda's engineers had a real clarity of purpose when it came to the way the Superb drives. So rather than try to make it a jack of all trades, it's put any notion of sportiness to one side and instead focused on comfort, and the Superb is all the better for it. The ride is genuinely excellent, the Superb doing a fine job of cushioning its occupants from general lumps and bumps and bigger potholes. One of my colleagues described it as Rolls-Royce-like, and I can see where they're coming from. However, I still can't quite see Lord Sugar and the like trading in anytime soon because the Superb is no match for a roller when it comes to noise suppression. Having said that, it is about 10 times cheaper, and in terms of its actual rivals, it's very good when it comes to engine, wind and road noise. If you aren't going to do a huge number of miles, then the higher powered 1.4 litre petrol engine has enough oomph to make the more expensive 2 litre model redundant. Most though will go for the 2 litre diesel, which is available with either 143 horsepower or 187. Our hatch has the lower powered engine with a manual gearbox, whereas this estate has the higher powered engine with a DSG automatic. However, unless you really want an auto, I would actually go for the cheaper, lower powered version, which if anything is a bit smoother. There's really very little difference in the way the two cars handle, which is to say the steering is accurate, but the body does lose a bit of control, become a bit wallowy when you start to push it. That's fine though, because as we've said, the Superb is more about comfort, and with that in mind, it's also worth mentioning that the hatch we've got is on 17-inch wheels, whereas this estate is on 18s, and you do get a slightly smoother low-speed ride on the 17s. Skoda also scores well for reliability, customer satisfaction and safety. All models come with 7 airbags and go for SE spec and above, and you get extras such as parking sensors and climate control. What's most impressive is that Skoda has managed to achieve all this without making the Superb hugely expensive. With prices starting at under £20,000, it's actually a bit of a bargain. Obviously, which model you choose will depend on your needs. However, I would say that it's worth noting that the hatchback still offers more space than most rival estate cars, throwing the fact that it's also cheaper than the Superb estate, and it would seem to me at least to be the smarter choice. Let me know if you agree by commenting below, and of course don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking up here and going to the Telegraph Cars website by clicking down here.